What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Empire Sports Talk. I am your host, Roman Gennaro, and I want to talk about the NFC North. Let's do it. So, this is one of the most intriguing divisions. Not the most. I think the most intriguing division is the AFC West, but this probably comes in second. And so, I just want to jump right into this. I think the winner of the NFC North is going to be, this is tough. I'm making a last second pivot. I think it's going to be the Green Bay Packers. And I am as high on the Detroit Lions as anyone. But the Detroit Lions have the second toughest schedule in the entire NFL, behind only the New York Giants, who have an opponent win percentage of .574. The Lions and the Bears, for that matter, are at .571. And so I think the winner of that, because we don't know what we're going to get from J.J. McCarthy, all indications is that he's going to be pretty good. Minnesota is so into him that they did not even entertain the Aaron Rodgers of it all. They did not even entertain keeping Daniel Jones or bringing in another quarterback. They let Sam Darnold walk away. So they are all in to J.J. McCarthy, but we don't know exactly what he's going to be. And they won't have Jordan Addison for the first couple of games. So I think the winner in all this, and I say winner because the entire NFC North is featured in the top 7 toughest schedules in the NFL, is the Green Bay Packers. Another year for Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. Another year for that team that seems to be one of the trendier picks for all of this. They did not make a ton of additions. Nothing jumps off the page, but they are solid. And I know I've been very critical of Jordan Love. I don't think they should have made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL for like a day and a half after basically one year of being the starter, but they did. We move on. I do think he's good. I do think this is a talented team with Josh Jacobs as well. And I just think the Packers are going to be the beneficiary of, in terms of win percentage, in terms of toughness, having the easiest schedule among division opponents. They are tied with the Vikings at .557 as an opponent win percentage, which is not easy, but it is the easiest in the group, and they don't have a rookie quarterback. Yes, I know J.J. McCarthy is not technically a rookie in terms of time in an NFL uniform, but he is in terms of playing. So, because Chicago and Detroit are among the toughest schedules in the NFL, and Minnesota has a rookie quarterback that we don't know what he's going to be on the field, I have to say number 1 is the Packers. Number 2, and it's very, very close, is the Detroit Lions. Because even though they have the toughest schedule, this team is built for that toughness. Dan Campbell, I love Dan Campbell. I love Dan Campbell. They didn't do a ton in terms of bringing in a lot of guys. They did not open up the checkbook too much this offseason. They did sign Rock Ya-Sin. They did sign DJ Reed, Avonte Maddox, a bunch of corners and safeties, re-signed a couple of edge rushers, which was big for them to pair alongside a healthy Aiden Hutchinson. I would like to see them possibly address that even more. But I still love this team. I love Dan Campbell. So the only reason I don't have them winning the division outright is because strength of schedule. 3, and again, I think this is a very close division, is Minnesota. I know I just said they don't know what they're going to get from J.J. McCarthy, but they seem pretty confident, and I give it 4 weeks before they know exactly who he is, and I think he'll be pretty stable, and they do have a good roster. Jordan Reed will be back within the first few weeks from his suspension. They do have the best wide receiver in football. They did lose Danielle Hunter, but I like Kevin O'Connell. I like what he's done there, and no reason for me to doubt my top 3. Number 4, this is the biggest wild card in the division because we just don't know. For once in the recent memory of the Chicago Bears, they have a stable head coach, and they have a franchise quarterback. And word from camp is that Ben Johnson is challenging Caleb Williams a lot, is challenging him to do a lot of things he's not familiar with, such as being under center. Caleb Williams ran a lot of shotgun in college, and he had a lame duck head coach in his rookie year, so this is really the first time he's been challenged in the NFL in year 2. I think this division is too good for them to challenge for the playoffs in year 1 for Ben Johnson, but this was the team that made the most noise on paper in the offseason. They brought in running back Travis Homer, wide receiver Devin Duvernay, wide receiver Olamide Zaccheaus, giving Caleb Williams more targets. They brought in offensive lineman Jonah Jackson. They brought in offensive lineman Joe Thuney. Huge when you're talking about a franchise quarterback. They brought in center Drew Dalman, edge rusher Deo Odengbo from the Colts, another defensive tackle in Grady Jarrett, and a bunch of guys on the defensive end. This team, again, this is a division that you could tell me there's going to be 3 playoff teams, and you could put them in any order, and I'll listen to you. But because of how tough it is, and because of the fact that the Chicago Bears are tied with the second toughest schedule with their division opponent, the Detroit Lions, just off the 2 of those, I think Detroit is built better to handle that. Because Jared Goff is a veteran. Dan Campbell preaches toughness. This team has been there, done that for a few years now. Chicago, we don't know what it is yet. We think it's finally starting to stabilize, but Ben Johnson is a first-year head coach. Caleb Williams is a second-year quarterback who had some stability issues with all of that a year ago. So we don't know what it's going to be. So I have no choice right now on paper to say Chicago is going to be in 4th place and not make the playoffs because there are only a limited number of playoff spots and this is a really tough division. So I think we can see really good things out of them. And I think an important thing to note is something that was said on ESPN this morning. I think it was from Mike Tannenbaum. That the most important thing this season for the Chicago Bears is to see Caleb Williams be better towards the end of the season. Like, see marked improvement from beginning to end. Like we saw with Bryce Young. At the beginning of the season, everybody's like, oh, he's the biggest bust ever. Carolina should have gone with C.J. Stroud, and hindsight's 2020, obviously. But then at the end of the season, we started seeing some really good things from Bryce Young. So that is what, according to Mike Tannenbaum, is the most important thing for Chicago right now, is see that marked improvement. See a path forward for Ben Johnson. We see his vision. If we see what this team could be, and if we see marked improvement from Caleb Williams. So right now, I have the top 3 spots in the NFC North very, very close. Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, in that order, because of the strength of schedule. I have Green Bay winning. And then in 4th place, we're just looking for the needle to move. The Chicago Bears. Next video will be all about the NFC South. So until then, I am Roman Janier from Empire Sports Talk. I'll see you on the next one.